Do you want hands-on experience as you decide what career you want to pursue? Through on-the-job training, work experiences, and apprenticeships, Central Missouri Job Center staff are ready to help set you up for success today. You can learn more about our on-the-job training program, which is an excellent opportunity to get hands-on experience from an employer while earning a paycheck. It's a win-win for everybody. Employers get the workforce they need, and you get the experience you need. Or there's our work experience program available to job seekers ages 14 to 24 with little or no work experience. This provides the opportunity to meet with prospective employees while also taking advantage of critical workplace training. Gaining work experience gives you the needed work background to secure future jobs. And our registered apprenticeship opportunities are an alternative earn while learning combination of training and employment. Apprentice workers gradually earn more as they reach higher levels of productivity. A registered apprenticeship combines employer-driven, job-related instruction with extensive learning under the supervision of a trade professional. After completing a registered apprenticeship, the apprentice receives a nationally recognized occupational credential that communicates the standards and high level of training that their employer provides. To learn more about our work-based learning programs, visit cwdregion.com/learning. That's cwdregion.com/learning. Welcome to the Workforce Link podcast, where we're offering forward-thinking conversations for the workforce, linking employers and job seekers to a brighter tomorrow. I'm your host, Sunday Jo Graham with the Central Workforce Development Region. I'm excited to be back with you today for another episode of this podcast. You know, in recent years, online learning has become increasingly popular, with platforms like Coursera offering a variety of courses and certifications to help people gain new skills and advance their careers. But how and when should you put Coursera certificates on your resume? That's what we're going to talk about in today's quick episode of the Workforce Link podcast. Before we dive into today's episode, though, I want to ask you a favor. If you're enjoying this podcast, we would be grateful if you would tell others about it. The more you spread the word, the more people we get to help, and that is what we are here for. Okay, so let's dive into today's episode on how and when to put Coursera certificates on your resume. If you're not familiar with Coursera, let's dig into that first. So Coursera is an online learning platform that offers a wide range of courses, specializations, degree programs from top universities and companies around the world. And the courses they cover a variety of subjects: business, technology, data science, health, social sciences. Those are just to name a few. So Coursera courses are designed to be accessible and flexible with options for self-paced learning, guided projects, peer-reviewed assignments. And upon completing a course, students can earn a certificate that verifies their achievement and demonstrates their knowledge in that specific subject matter. Coursera certificates can be a valuable addition to a resume, particularly if they are relevant to the job or industry that you are applying for. You know, they can show potential employers that you've taken the initiative to learn new skills, that you have the knowledge and the expertise to contribute to their organization. Employers want to see that, right? Okay, so here's what you need to know. Number one, consider the relevance of the course to your desired job. So before you put any Coursera certificate on your resume, consider how relevant the course is to the job that you're applying for, to that desired job. If the course relates to the position you're applying for, it can be a really great way to showcase your knowledge and your skills in that particular area. So for example, if you're applying for a job in data analytics, well, a certificate in data science, right, would be highly relevant, and it's going to add value to your resume. On the other hand, if you're applying for a job in marketing, a certificate in a course related to maybe social media or digital marketing, right, that's going to be more relevant. So consider the relevance of the course to your desired job. Number two, highlight the most important courses. So it's not uncommon for people to complete multiple courses on Coursera or any online learning platform. However, listing every course on your resume, it might not be the most effective way to showcase your skills, to showcase your knowledge. So when deciding which courses to highlight, think about the skills and the knowledge that are required for that job that you're applying for, that specific job you're applying for, and what you've gained from completing the courses. So look for courses that directly relate to the job and the specific requirements listed in that job description. Okay. So number 2, highlight the most important courses. Number 3, include the name of the course, the provider, and the completion date. So when listing Coursera certificates, make sure to include the name of the course, right? The provider, and in this case, it would be Coursera, and the completion date. Because what this does is helps establish credibility, right? Shows that you've completed the course, shows that you've received certification. Easy enough, right? It also helps to provide context for the skills and the knowledge that you gained through the course. And it makes it easier for recruiters, for hiring managers to understand how it relates to the job you're applying for. Also, including that completion date shows that you've, recently acquired that certification, recently acquired that knowledge. You're keeping up with the industry trends. It shows that you're keeping up with best practices, right? So this can be particularly important for roles that require specific, like industry specific knowledge, technical knowledge, things like that. Okay. So number 3, include the name of the course, the provider, and the completion date. Number 4, mention what you learned and how you applied it. Okay. So it's a good idea to briefly mention what you've learned in the course, how you've applied that knowledge in your work, or even in personal projects. Don't be afraid to get personal here. This shows that, you didn't just take the course to pad your resume, right? But you took it to actually gain practical skills, practical knowledge from it, right? So when describing what you learned, try to be specific, highlight the key skills, the knowledge that you gained through the course. So this could include specific programming languages or tools, product management methods, things like that, other relevant skills, okay? So when discussing how you've applied this knowledge, try to provide concrete examples of how you've used those skills in your work or in your personal projects. This might include specific projects that you've completed, right? Problems you've solved using the knowledge that you learned, whether at work or again, in a personal project. Put in other relevant experiences there, okay? So number 4, mention what you learned and how you applied it. Number 5, consider where to put Coursera certificates on your resume. So it's important to consider the format, to consider the structure, and the relevance of the certification, right, to the job that you're applying for. So if you've completed a certificate program on Coursera, you're probably going to list that in the education section of your resume, right, along with your other degrees, your other certifications. On the other hand, if you've taken individual courses on Coursera, you might want to put them in a separate section on your resume. Maybe call it professional development, maybe additional training, something like that, okay? So as you craft your resume, think about the format, think about the structure that's going to best showcase your skills and your experience, and highlight those Coursera courses that are most relevant to the job that you are applying for, okay? And if you need help learning how to format your resume, we discussed this in a past episode, but we can help you do that, okay? And I will share the link in the show notes for you on how to do that, all right? All right, so number 5, consider where to put Coursera certificates on your resume. So putting these on your resume, putting Coursera certificates on your resume, again, just to recap, is a great way to showcase your skills, a great way to show that knowledge to potential employers. It's important to only include courses that are relevant to the job you're applying for and to highlight the most important and relevant courses. And be sure to include the name of the course, the provider, the completion date, and briefly mention what you learned and how you have applied that knowledge, okay? Follow these tips and you will stand out to the employers and get the job you want. And again, if you need assistance with your resume, if you need assistance with job searching, finding a new career pathway, you want to learn about other training services that we have, you can find your nearest job center at cwdregion.com/job centers, and I will share the link to that in the show notes for you. And if you have enjoyed today's episode, would you mind sharing it with somebody else that you think could benefit? And if you haven't already, would you mind heading over and leaving us a review on iTunes for the Workforce Link podcast? Let us know what you like about the show. It really does mean a lot to us, and it helps us stay visible so that others can find us. All right, have a great week, and we will meet again in the next episode. Until then, remember this: there's always a brighter tomorrow if you're willing to find it. The Central Region Workforce Development Board Incorporated and COPIC are equal opportunity employers and programs. Auxiliary aids and services are available upon request to individuals with disabilities. Missouri Relay Services at 711.